This is Gerardo Del Real live from the 2023 Beaver Creek Precious Metal Summit, here with the CEO of Scottie Resources, an old friend, Mr. Brad O'Rourke. Brad, how are you, sir?
Oh, president of an exploration company. I'm just great.
Yeah. Let's get into it. Gold is firmly above 1900. Everybody wants to see 2000. You've been one of the few exceptions in the business that has committed capital to drilling and increasing the resource and demonstrating the scale at your project. So let's get into all of that. But beforehand, let's talk a little bit about the project. Give us a brief overview before we get into the details.
Sure. So we're an exploration company. Our assets are in the Golden Triangle, so northwest British Columbia, and dominantly in the southern end. We're kind of, if you know Ascot and you know Bruce Jack, we've got a lion's share, about 60,000 hectares, just kind of in that southern end, mostly contiguous, 7 past producing mines in total. So we've been on a big consolidation spree for the last 5 or 6 years. The last 2 years I've have enough land. I don't think it'd benefit my shareholders, but we've got a very enviable land package. And we just completed our 5th drill season at Scottie, Blueberry / and did 20,000 meters. So we're staring the market in the face. We're pretty happy with our asset. And we got about 20,000 meters to come in the near future. So, because it's been challenging for us and everybody in the industry, I think if things turn, we're armed with a lot more news than perhaps some of the other companies. So time will tell if that was a smart situation, but we're feeling very good about it. And we just calculated our drill cost, $325 a meter all in, including geophysics. Okay. In the Golden Triangle, that's quite exceptional.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Let's talk about the deposit type and let's talk about the geology. You really had, a step change in the approach a couple of years back, right? You started understanding the structural controls a whole heck of a lot more, and you did the right thing. You got aggressive with the drill bit once you figured out where to vector in. Talk about the deposit type, and let's talk about some of those results and just where that resource stands right now.
Sure. So maybe 4 years ago, we were actually hunting.
Right.
4 different, Scottie Gold Mine, Domino, Georgia River, and then we had this new discovery at Blueberry.
Yeah.
And really just changed everything for us at Blueberry. And we purchased the Blueberry for $1 million. I think in 2018, it was the hardest thing I ever done. But I needed that size, so we just had to do it. But our understanding of what we were buying and everybody's understanding, there was a vein on surface called the Blueberry vein. It's not exactly east-west, but it's kind of an east-west situation, a peritite pyrite, same signature that we see at Scottie. And we're going, okay, that system must go in there. But in drilling that vein in 2019, trying to hit the 100 meters at depth, we hit this intercept of 7.5 grams over 35 meters, 34 meters. We didn't understand it. Nothing sexy about that rock. But that's kind of just started, it's a very slow burn what Blueberry came out. You need to understand it because we didn't understand it.
Right.
Tight drill program, and now all of a sudden we've redefined that geology from what everything. We were driving over that for 40 years. It's north-south, not east-west. And the controlling feature for the gold is a contact between the sediments and an andesite. And where that comes together, fluids are coming up and just hitting these pre-existing structures. Well, we haven't looked back. I mean, if you've seen some of our drill results year after year after year, but now we're getting into that size and scale on surface, extremely high grade, steeply dipping, which is very attractive because it just means it's easy ore to get at. And the grades being, I think, some of the best in the industry.
Agreed.
It truly is. And so we're getting the right attention from everybody. And wait and see. I mean, we got 20,000 coming. We put out a news release last week. I'm not sure if you saw it.
I did.
56 grams over 3.7 meters. Great hit.
Sure.
But when you look at how that connects dots, it's even more exciting than just the headline numbers. But obviously very happy with those numbers.
What's the vision as far as the resource? How big do you think this can get, given the nature of the system, the grade, where you're seeing it, and the fact that you understand the structural control so well?
Sure. So you've interviewed me before, everybody. I've never ever said anything more than our goal of Scottie is to show a pathway to 1 million high-grade ounces.
Right.
We're not. I think we've blown through that quite easily. I'm hesitant to say because, again, I haven't seen that 20,000 meters. But what I can say is this: that targeting right now, I'm very comfortable saying it's 1.5 million if we include the Scottie, because the Scottie has a 700 drill hole database. We understand that extremely well. So that's easy ounces for us when it's resource time. So my commitment to the shareholders and to the market is by the end of this program, I'll be able to articulate how much drilling it'll be if we want to hit, resource it. But we just haven't found the ends of it.
Right.
So it'll be up to my partners, the bigger shareholders, and myself, and go, okay, do we want a resource or do we want to still expand? But what we've done is we drilled off a small little block, resource size as a proxy, kind of in the middle of the deposit. The north end has such high grade. If I drilled it off there, it just wouldn't be representative. So we have that. I think I'll be able to articulate, okay, if we want 1 million ounces, this is how many meters it costs, and then we'll just decide where to go from there. So that's happening in the next three months. But yeah, again, I'm excited to see the results.
Yeah.
Importantly, I don't put visuals out and such because you can get fooled. There's a lot of pretty rocks.
All the rocks
in
look
the
pretty.
area, and then sometimes the ones that aren't pretty run. But we understand this, being the 5th year on it. We hit structure where we were predicting it to be. All our step outs are, this year is actually getting a little bit tighter, but it's still 60 meters would be the average. So still very well spaced.
Where's the market cap? Here's the opportunity,
God,
right?
Look at the market. I try not to
Ballpark.
look, but just call it $60 million, which is, frustrating for us. But if you look at our stock chart, we haven't lost anybody any money.
Right.
I think in this environment, that's something to be proud of. It's a sideways event where a lot of, even the people I admired and wanted to be like, we're just a little bit lucky, although we're frustrated as everybody is. But yeah, we're just kind of this sideways action. Very good shareholders, of course, that keep supporting us. So, I have no angry shareholders, so that's, I suppose, a good thing. But we're frustrated as everyone else is.
You have assays pending?
Oh my God, 20,000 coming up. We've released about 700 meters.
Yeah.
So yes, a very long news train that'll take us right into February.
Good. Scottie Resources, Mr. Brad Rourke. Always a pleasure, sir.
All right, nice seeing you. Thank you for your time.
Always.
All right.